Allow the inhales to be very relaxed, very deep. And allow the exhales to be even longer. So if our inhale is, say, 4 counts, allow the exhale to be 6 or even 7 counts. Letting it go so slow, so deep, so connected. So with this focus on the exhale, this is so helpful to help our body calm down. This is the breath we take right as we're falling asleep. Taking the breath like this actually changes the chemistry of our body, that proportion of alkalinity that we have in our blood. And changing that affects the different various chemicals that help us to start to go to that relaxed, rest and digest state. And so sometimes it's even nice to take this breath if you're having a night of insomnia. Just take this breath, and it can sometimes trick your body to get so relaxed that it just drifts right into sleep on its own. And so our goal today is to relax our body as much as physically possible, letting ourselves constantly head into the poses, and then just let the breath take over. Long exhales to send that signal to the body. I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm whole. And so with that idea to help lead us on into our class today, let's begin to stretch the arms up overhead like we're waking up first thing in the morning. And just notice how this pulls very gently all the muscles of the core and even of the back into just an easeful stretch. So the breath going even into the belly. And after this current exhale, we'll start to circle our hands around, bring our knees in, place one hand on each knee. This could just be a hug. I personally like to rock around on the sacrum a little bit. That helps to ease into the low back, ease and correct the sacral tilt that might be going on. Bringing things just gently back into that perfect balanced state. One more breath cycle like this. And then we'll allow our arms to start spreading open as the knees begin to follow all the way over to the left. The idea is to have the perfect amount of ease. So it's up to your body to decide how deep you're going to head into this shape. The most easeful way to be like this is to have the knees just resting to this direction. If your spine wants to go deeper, it doesn't really feel as much as you would hope to feel, you could have the option to begin extending the bottom leg long, returning it back to straight on the mat. Even taking the left hand and resting it on top of the right knee is a little bit of weight. So find your perfect spot on that spectrum of complete, almost restful, almost like sleep, that end, to the other end, coming just a little bit deeper to maybe feel your body a bit more. Your choice where you fall on that spectrum. No matter where we took, our breath is still flowing. So feel the areas that you can still receive this beautiful deep breath. And feel the areas that are slightly more constricted right now. And if at all possible, try to come back to this inhale deep, but exhale is extra long. One more breath cycle right here. As that exhale completes, we ease our way into the twist on the second side. Perhaps we start off with just that simple version, the knees more or less stacked. Feel how the spine receives that placement. As we find ourselves relaxing even deeper, we have that option perhaps to begin to extend the bottom leg straighter. Maybe the right hand rests on that left knee to help weigh it down. So choose the perfect placement for your body here. Maybe gaze can go over the left hand. And begin to receive, truly receive this shape. Imagine this morning in your meditation that you were sending the thought out to the universe. Can you give me everything I've ever wanted? And imagine, what if the universe sent you this pose? Could you receive this pose as if this was the best gift anyone could ever give you? See how deeply you can be with your breath. Exhale extra long. And take it for 3 more cycles. Only when that third cycle finishes, this left knee flips open and we find ourselves coming directly into a supine cobbler pose. Bottoms of the feet are together, knees are spreading wide. So start to feel how your low back does that gentle arch. Feel how the hips are opening. And perhaps you choose to add in a little bit with the shoulders by grabbing onto each elbow or each wrist and letting that rise right above the head. Feel as if the body could not relax any deeper, even if you were on a beach or in a hot tub. There's nothing better than this. Allowing our shoulders to receive even more, you have the option to take your right arm and cross it over the torso. The left arm hooks around to pull it in for a gentle shoulder stretch. Perhaps left ear even gets closer to left shoulder as right shoulder drops away from ear. Lots of length. Lots of stretch. You took the right shoulder stretch. We can begin to do the same thing with the left. Perhaps bring the ear closer to the shoulder, right ear, as the left ear drops, the left shoulder drops down, lots of length. As we release away from that shoulder stretch, make sure the head is back to center on the mat. And we're going to start trying out happy baby pose. So begin to lift the legs up. See if the hands want to slide all the way to the feet. If that's too far here, no stress about it. You can slide down to ankles or shins instead. And notice how the body wants to receive this pose. Would it rather be in stillness, gently allowing hips to open wider and wider? Or would it rather be in a little bit of motion, rocking across that low back, or even straightening a leg up to the sky? You can go nice and slowly, but just choose the quality that allows your body to receive the highest, kindest benefits. We'll take one more good breath with both feet like this. Here we release the left foot. We can either have the foot planted as the knee is still bent, or you can choose to slide it all the way long, your choice. As we're in the half happy baby with just the right foot, see if this hip wants to open up just a little bit deeper than it did a moment ago. Keeping the grip exactly as it is. 3 times very slowly, we're going to see how high up we can straighten the leg. Does not have to go all the way, just enough to feel the hamstrings. And then release back to the half happy baby. Just as slow, 2 more times. Whenever you finish that third one, swivel the foot in as the knee goes out. We switch the grip, so left hand takes over the foot, right hand takes over the knee. This is more of that cradling position for the hip. You can be with stillness, just hugging this into the chest, or you can rock it out like a baby's cradle. Whatever feels best for our hip here. And as we start to release this right foot, it goes to the ground. Choose the same option as that you did on the other, so foot planted or foot long, and we transition to half happy baby on left. The knee goes wide. Feel how the hip is receiving this side. Nice and slowly 3 times. We start to kick the leg up as much as it wants to go without changing the grip, and then let it bend right back down. Going for 2. And last one. Bringing the foot in, the right hand takes over. Left hand slides to the knee. We can rock this hip or find simple stillness, your preference. Deep inhale, feel the diaphragm working. And a very long exhale. From that point, let's begin to release the hands. And we end up with both feet planted about as wide as the mat, taking gentle windshield wipers. Both knees fall left. Both knees fall right. Take it at your own pace. How is the body receiving this? And the next time the knees fall over to the right, let them stay. You can either maintain exactly this shape, or if you'd like to try taking the right ankle and resting it on the left thigh, just to see how that affects the left internal rotation, you can try it out. If it bugs the knee in any way at all, just drop it right back down. Imagine your body was a cavern, and this stretch is opening up a whole new cavern that you haven't explored in a long time. And so notice what beauties are available right here from the inside out. Imagine you're an explorer trying to map all those fun little crevices that are within. It's like we're mapping our anatomy, not by what science tells us, but by how it feels. Because of this feeling, I know there's a muscle right there. Let's enjoy one more breath through this side. A good release. And dropping the right foot down if it lifted at all. We'll take 3 slow switches. So knees go to the left and to the right. And when they go back to the left, let them stay. You have that option to take the left ankle up if that feels okay for the knees. Begin to explore through this area. What new, beautiful treasures are available here? Perhaps that we haven't experienced in quite some time. Another deep inhale. And with the exhale, we can start releasing this side. Do a few bonus windshield wipers to loosen up anything that needs it in this moment. And keep on going until your body's happy there, at which point we'll start to work up toward a seated place. But don't feel any sort of rush. If you're still here, be here until your body gives you that beautiful thumbs up. I'm good to go. Still no rush at all. When you are up, let the feet come together, but the feet are sliding a full foot forward of a cobbler's pose. So it's closer to star pose. Rest a hand on each knee or shin for the first moment and set the posture up nice and tall as we drop the right ear over the right shoulder. You can be with stillness here, or if it feels really nice to rock the head a little bit forward And a little bit backward of that shoulder, that can also be really nice. Let's allow the head to rise back up and begin to drift to second side. Same quality, stillness or gentle, gentle rocking. The head comes up. Allow yourself to drop the chin down to the chest, allowing the head to be so heavy that we're stretching through the muscles of the back of the neck. Perhaps stay here a bit longer if the neck really needs exactly this stretch. When it feels like you're ready to evolve even deeper, let the weight of the head be what pulls your spine forward into a nice rounded shape over the shins. Hands can readjust to be resting in just that perfect spot for you today. What I love about this is the more I work the head heavy, the more the weight of the head will pull the rest of the muscles of the back into a nice stretch, even all the way down to the low back. So see if you can allow that to happen. More and more release. From here, begin to slide the right hand to the right knee. Once the right hand is there, straighten the right arm. This will start to shift your nose over the left. As we go to that placement, it helps to pull the low back muscles on the right half into a really good stretch. Return low through the middle as we start to switch the hands out, left hand to left knee, left arm straightening until nose is over the right. The other arm can shift off if that feels better on the side, or it can stay. here we'll ease our way back forward and start to roll the spine to return all the way back up. Once we're up, we're going to swing our legs around to rest down onto our bellies. From a Sphinx position, we're going to let the left hand swivel in, and then the right hand comes immediately in front of that. So right hand is in front. Now let both hands continue to walk off those edges of the mat. So right hand goes to left hand goes to right. The elbows are crossing past midline. And we're continuing to walk them to the point where our shoulders are pulled into a nice stretch. If you don't really feel it, all you need to do is bump your elbows an inch closer to the top of your mat, and usually that will get you there. When you find your pose in the shoulders, allow yourself to rest the chin in a way that still lets the breath go. So definitely not choking ourselves off. Usually I'll put the chin directly onto my upper arm, and that allows me a space to breathe still. So then once you find that place, just breathe into the shoulders opening and enjoy the sensation of belly getting a massage as it just breathes into the earth. More good deep breath. Long exhale. As the exhale finishes, start to walk the elbows back in. Before we switch sides, we're going to take the right arm into a 90-degree angle and plant it off the mat on that right side. Our right cheek rests on the ground. And then we find the left hand on the ground so we can press into it. Oftentimes I can get my hips all the way to stack, sometimes even reaching the top leg backwards. If that's ever too much for the shoulder, back off to the point where it's still feeling okay. Not too much, not too little. One more inhale. Exhale, belly will start to return to the ground. Take yourself gently back up into the Sphinx pose. And then this time the right hand swivels in first, left hand will be on top. Once you're there, both arms walk off their respective edges of the mat. Make sure you feel the shoulder stretch. If not, you can bump it higher up and find a restful place that allows you to breathe. Belly breathing into the earth for 2 more cycles. Gentle walking in. And once we're up, this time left arm takes that 90-degree angle up the left side. Left cheek down. Press into the right hand until the left shoulder is stretching for you. Imagine this area of the body was also a cavern. How does this cavern compare to the thighs that we were exploring earlier? Our body, in a way, tells us the story of our life, how we've treated it every day of our life up to this point. So what stories are being told? Does the body wish for us to change anything? Our intuition is so good. It's telling us one little step we can take to help it out if we listen. One more breath here. With the exhale, we can return the hips to the ground and shift back into a nice child pose. Arms stretching long. Feel how the shoulders receive this placement. Perhaps you'd like to play with a couple of breaths, walking the hands off the left edge of the mat. Couple of breaths, walking off the right. Coming back to center, we'll give our body another 3 breaths just to receive the straight alignment. Try to allow the exhales to be extra long. After all 3, we'll start to rise back up, returning to a seated place with the legs out in front of us. Legs being invited to go wide, does not need to be 100%, but a nice wide shape, at least a little bit more than your mat perhaps. And from this placement, you can always bend the knees if you already feel hips pulling you back. Otherwise, straight can be nice. We'll place the right hand by the right leg, or maybe slide down to the right elbow. Left shoulder peels back, trying to stack. And then this left arm can reach up to the sky and over. If that ever feels like it's too much for the shoulder, find a more restful position, perhaps behind the back. One more breath. And a gentle rise. Left hand or left elbow down. Right shoulder pulls back. And perhaps the right arm reaches over or finds that more restful position. One more good inhale. Nice exhale. Start to rise. And we'll find ourselves relaxing forward. Make this easeful. So if the knees need to be even more bent, that's beautiful. If you'd like to walk forward and then relax, that's fine, or kind of just melt your spine all the way to your position, like chocolate in a hot sun. Head release is just as important to this pose as anything else. Lots of presence. Let's be absolutely with our breath for 5 more slow cycles. And that 5th breath begins to come to its conclusion. You'll use your hands to gently lift the spine up and start walking us back in. Our hands then pick up the knees. The feet are coming to a planted position. Both knees are going to fall all the way over to the left. And then walk your hands to the left, planting them into the ground. And just walk your spine to the perfect amount of twist. Doesn't have to be too deep. Just enough that it feels really good. Notice where you're breathing into. Are you taking belly breaths? Are you breathing into one lobe of the lung over another? Just notice, becoming conscious of what's already happening. One more good inhale. Exhale, take as much time as you'd like to begin unwinding from that side. Eventually, when you're forward, the knees start to flip over to the second direction. Hands plant to the right side. And continue to walk only as far as your spine is so happy to receive it. One more deep inhale. Exhale starts to return us forward. Here, we give our body permission to do any last little movements we might need before Shavasana. So maybe this is windshield wipers with our knees. Maybe we're going to come onto our back, doing one or two last little favorite things. This can be anything that just feels helpful for the body, giving our body those last little good things that will help it feel complete. So there's no rush to get into Shavasana. You could take another full minute or even 2 minutes. No rush at all. When you do come to that place where you're so ready to just relax into Shavasana, my recommendation is try to return back to the breath that we started with. Good deep inhales, super slow, long exhales. Letting the breath be that ocean wave that carries us deeper in toward a knowing of ourselves. Deeper release of the physical. Breath flowing deeply in and even longer out. Allow the next inhale to be even deeper. And the next exhale even longer. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually, perhaps you're ready for a little fetal position off to one side. Allow your body several breaths to come even more fully back to this present moment. So maybe 3 or 4 huge breath cycles, only rising up to sit when you feel completely present. As we do arise, our hands find their way joining together in front of the heart. We connect back to presence with our body. Imagining we could map out all the areas we've explored through today. It's a different kind of anatomy, our own deep internal understanding of what our body does, instead of just a textbook knowledge. And so with this deeper connecting and deeper exploration inward to lead us into the rest of this day and the rest of this week, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time we got to share together today with a sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.